Good morning, everyone. While we're waiting for others to get in and get settled, now's a good time to grab anything you need to get comfortable. Maybe it's a glass of water or a hot cup of tea or coffee. Also, if you have items at home and you'd like to smudge, it's a good time to grab those items as we begin to ignite the healing within. For our relatives at home, if you don't have smudge, that's okay. We'll send some cleansing, healing, and positive energy your way. It's a new day. It's another sunrise and another sunset. It's a different phase of the moon. This is our opportunity to reflect for the day on how we're feeling and what it is that we might need to move forward on our wellness journey. Aloha, kakahiaka. Hello and good morning. My name is Malia and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join us here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., where we will always breathe, stretch, explore ways of integrating self care and wellness into our daily lives, and we will always honor our cultural traditions, our customs, our ancestry, our strength, and our resilience. So, thank you so much for joining us this morning, relatives. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our HIR Wellness Institute team members who are here with us. We have one of our counseling interns, Odessa Peters. Good morning, Odessa. How are you doing? As well as our occupational therapist, Claudia Meyer-Smith. Claudia, how are you today? Claudia and Odessa, like myself, we are here in this circle of care relatives. We are here for you. We're here to hold space for you. We're here with our own unique experiences and gifts and backgrounds to support you. That's community activated medicine. We're all together, proverbially shoulder to shoulder. A space in which not only are we here to heal and to reflect on what it is that we need, but we're here to support others on their journey too. And with that, everyone, how are you doing today? How are you today? As a reminder, whether you've been here since the beginning of these videos, which by the way, it's been over a year now, since the beginning of the whole pandemic. It's been over a year. Last Friday marked 1 year. A year ago on Friday the 13th, oddly enough. Um, so it's been a long time. But whether you've been here from the beginning of the videos or this is your first time checking in today, I want you to know that you're welcome here. We're so happy that you're here. Because when we're here together, we can take a moment to reflect on what it is we need. Like, what do you need today, relatives? But before we decide where we're going, if we're going to walk that path or crawl that path or sprint through that path or just stop in that path and reflect, take the moment for yourself to check in. If you need to, do a body scan. We often scan from head to toe, just paying attention to areas of our body where there might be feeling tightness or tension, might even be physical pain. Because a lot of times our bodies can really tell us what's going on. It can give us an insight as to what we're experiencing and what we might need to pay attention to. So how are you doing today, relatives? I invite you and encourage you to comment in the comment box. We can reflect on it, whether you're having an awesome day or whether you're having a horrible day. And although I hope you're not having a horrible day, so is the twists and turns of life. Sometimes we just do. So I want you to know, relatives, you come here, come as you are. Come warts and all, come with joy, come with sadness, come with laughter, and come with tears. The safest space this space is safe for you, no matter where you are. So Dwight says, good morning. Good morning, Dwight. How are you doing today? Sarah says, good morning, everyone. I feel so much better today. So happy to be able to be here today to listen to you. Sarah, we're happy you're here with us. So happy to see you again. I'm glad you're doing better today. It's wonderful news. Alex, good morning. How are you doing, Alex? Kelly, good morning. How are you doing this morning? Molly says, good morning, Molly. Molly says, ready to quit my job. No interest anymore. Maybe old and not needed. Molly, thanks for sharing candidly how you're feeling and what you're going through. If you want to talk about it, we're here. If you want to talk to somebody about it individually, you can always inbox the HIR Wellness Institute Facebook Messenger. You could always email us. And relatives, for you, those of you out there who are going through something right now, I will always remind us about the CARES Warm Line. You can call our CARES Warm Line. Let me see, I think I got it. CARES Warm Line is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can call or text. And what the CARES line is for, relatives, it's for you when you need someone to talk to. It's not a crisis line, but it's a line where you can call someone and be respected, be treated with dignity. Your CARES counselor will listen to you and hold space for you and provide you with emotional support. Maybe you're feeling sad or anxious or nervous. Maybe you're feeling angry. Maybe you don't even know what you're feeling, but you need to talk it out so that you can just release something or even just to get a sense of what your own feelings are. And not only can the CARES Warm Line provide you with emotional support, we can also provide you with resources that may be helpful for you. Resources in advocacy, safety planning, seeking shelter, and so much more, relatives. If you have a need, chances are there's an agency out there. So just know that you're not alone. Molly, I'm sorry to hear about your feelings, how you're feeling. And Molly, just know you can talk about it here and we can support you, or you can call the CARES Warm Line. We can support you that way. Or if you just needed to get it out in community activated medicine, that's exactly what we're here for, relatives. So thank you, Molly, for allowing yourself to be vulnerable in this space. Sarah says, thank you. You're more than welcome. Odessa says to Molly, glad you're here with us this morning. Sounds like your job is something that may not be giving you joy. Sending love your way. Absolutely. Thanks, Odessa. Odessa, shout out to everyone. Gwen, good morning, Gwen. Gwen says, going to have a better day today. Gwen, if you want to talk about it, and all of our relatives out there, you need to talk about it, you can comment right here. We're here for you. This is about you, relatives. This is about all of us needing support. That's community activated medicine. Come as you are, and we'll hold space for you. Odessa says, I'm doing well. I'm tired. Did not sleep well. I stayed up late watching a show that was kind of scary, so had bad dreams. I am a scaredy cat. Other than that, I am doing well. Busy day, but feeling ready. I hear that, Odessa. Thanks for sharing. Um, I did stay up late too. I am also tired. I hear that. And I fell asleep watching my partner. He was watching some weird show too. It was like Alice in Wonderlandy, but kind of violent and creepy, and ugh, that's what I fell asleep to. Odessa, we're here for you. If you need to talk, if you need any support, Odessa, I'm here for you always. Alex says, I'm doing great at Panera at Mayfair. That's awesome, Alex. Okay, enjoy the bread. What I would, man, some Panera with bread and butter sounds fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Alex. Glad to hear you're doing great. Claudia says, in my last job, I learned I was there to be taught something. Once I had that information, the universe made it uncomfortable for me to stay. I was needed elsewhere. It maybe is the environment is no longer serving you. How quickly we turn it on ourselves. Claudia, always so much good insight and feedback. Thank you. Um, Absolutely. And I remember Claudia telling me her story about how she did, the universe had something else in mind for her. Claudia, I know your job, that job was so difficult for you, and now you're somewhere where I personally feel like you completely make such positive changes for people, for the students that learn from you. Just being in the same place as you is a privilege and honor. You bring so much healing and so much love. So, relatives, I guess my thought on that is sometimes we do outgrow stuff. It's not always our fault. Sometimes, maybe the places we're at are limiting us. Maybe we've grown in a way that we can better serve elsewhere. Or maybe you're just having a funky day and you're like, yeah, I don't know. Not sure how I feel today. And that's totally fine. It's okay. And relatives, if you're not doing okay, every day I'll tell you it's okay not to be okay. We don't want to stay there, but if you're not doing okay, it's all right. You don't have to suppress it. You don't have to swallow it. You can process it. You can process it right here. If you're not okay, that's what this space is for. That's what the Cares Warm line is for. Claudia says, I'm doing good. Just feels dark outside. Hoping for a little sunshine. It does feel dark outside, relatives. It feels like a winter sunset, honestly. That's what it feels like here. Alex says, I'll buy you a free berry smoothie at Panera. Come on down. Alex, that sounds fantastic. I appreciate that invite. If and only if today wasn't the longest day in all of my work week every single Wednesday. That was awesome, Alex. Thank you. Marissa, good morning. How you doing, Marissa? How are you? Claudia says thank you. Um, Odessa say good morning. Claudia says it can be scary to let go. All right, Claudia, so I have a question for you if you're able to answer. What about those jobs or individuals or relationships or things in life? Maybe it's even behaviors or actions. What if we are too scared to let go? What if we know something that's not necessarily good for us? It's not serving our highest good. It's not allowing us to be our better selves. What do we, how do we deal with that? What if we're too scared? What if we're not ready to let go? Or what if we do want to let go, but we just don't know how? Dwight says I have to go to a doctor's appointment. Thank you. Dwight, self-care. Self-care, good job. Glad to hear it, Dwight. Taking care of you. Odessa sending you love too, Dwight, if you're still here. Glad to see you this morning. So, relatives, with that, if you care to, if you have something that you're afraid to let go of, if there's something, maybe it's a behavior, maybe it's a thought pattern, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's a job. If you have something that you know it's probably time to let go of, but you're afraid to, what's holding you back? And if we're too afraid, I ask Claudia, as an occupational therapist, as a wise person and a loving and caring person, What do we do when we're too afraid to let go? Do we have to let go? My personal perspective on this, as somebody who is a community healer, which means I'm simply here to hold space for you and to remind you that the community is a powerful tool to heal. My perspective is that you don't have to let go of anything. It is your choice. Sometimes we're ready and sometimes we're not. And I say that completely without judgment. I say that with humility. If we are ready, then whatever we need to release will be released. And if we're not ready, that doesn't mean we never will be. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean that you're not enough. But if you're in one of those situations, do what you can to nurture yourself. Take those extra actions and steps for self-care. Allow yourself some time to reflect. And if you have the courage, take some time to ask yourself some questions. Don't be afraid to forgive yourself for maybe why it is you're not ready. Give yourself some love. And when you are ready, to let go of whatever it is that you're letting go of, that's holding you back, or that's hurting you, or that's not serving you. When you are ready, you'll have the support. You can reach out to someone that you trust, someone that you love, someone that you can talk to, a family member, a friend, or a coworker. There's different agencies. There's a Cares Warm line. There's connecting to spirit. Odessa says, I think the question would be, why do we think we are feeling scared to let go? Why do we think we are feeling scared to let go? In some cases, it's because of the unknown, and that is scary. It's hard to be the one to walk away. If that is a relationship or a job, I believe that in these cases, we have to go internal and sit with our mind and body. Listen to it and try to understand why we're feeling the way that we do. Claudia says, I think we know when it's time to go. We may do lots of prepping. One situation, a relationship took 10 years of prepping. Our heart knows when we're ready. The job was from the day I walked in the door to 3.5 years later to leave. Thank you, Claudia, for sharing. Sometimes if it's a relationship relatives, I've heard this statistic here a handful of times at the Institute. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's on average like something like 7 or 8 to 12 years to leave a relationship. As far as jobs, Claudia's example took her 3.5, but maybe for any of our relatives out there who are struggling, there's obviously no time limit on either of these things. You can always do what you feel is right in your heart, and if you're not ready, keep taking actions of self-care. Be kind to yourself. Journal, practice gratitude for what you do have, the boundless blessings around us. Eat that ice cream if you need it. Go for a walk. Love your animals. Get some exercise or just reflect. Just rest and forgive yourself. I know relatives, I have moments like that too, where I just need to forgive myself for just being where I'm at in life. Odessa says, thanks for your share, Claudia. I agree. Our minds and bodies know. We just have to listen to them, then support ourselves through that change because it is not easy. Change is not easy. Heck, that's why we have these R&Rs every morning. That's why I say come as you are. Say what you need to say. Warts and all, relatives. Claudia says, interesting, I changed my tea this morning. It's called Be the Change, B-E-E. Be the Change tea. I love it, Claudia. What's in it? And speaking of which, relatives, what is in your morning elixir today? What do you got in your cup? I actually forgot to fill my cup. I was gonna have I was gonna chug a big glass of water, and now I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I guess I will not have anything for my morning elixir just yet. Marissa says, sometimes you live in survival mode for so long. It's really difficult to understand how and where. What areas you can start to gently let go. Hmm. Marissa, that's beautiful insight. And thanks for bringing your thoughts and your heart into the space and saying that. I appreciate you. Seriously, relatives, the gentleness and that radical self-acceptance. I'd like to think that we walk around every day just slaying and being perfect and, just taking on the world and, but we're humans. And you're always going to have your friends and your family and everyone who you intersect with on your wellness journey. Everyone has their own path, right? I always say this. You have your path, your children or your grandchildren or your parents or your friends and your family, the strangers, your coworkers, everyone is on their own path. Right now, we're all intersecting on this path. Literally, we're all here together. We're intersecting right now. This is that opportunity for community activated medicine. But sometimes, actually, a lot of times in our lives, we have intersections, relationships, whether they're intimate or family or friendships or colleagues or whatever they are. They intersect, and we will have our people with the best of. Thank you so much. Odessa brought me some water because she's awesome like that. Um, but sometimes we have these situations where we intersect, and you might even have people who are like, oh, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should be this, and for sure you should let go of that, and this isn't good for you. And people may have the best of intentions or not, but you may always kind of hear people in your ear telling you what to do. And the truth is like it is not their choice. And sometimes it doesn't seem like you have a choice. I know those feelings, relatives, where you're feeling pushed and pulled, but that's why we come here in the mornings to reflect too. I'm not here to tell you what to do, relatives. That's your sacred choice. Your path and journey in life is your path and journey in life. It may not seem like we are in control of it because we always have outside influences. We have those other paths that we intersect with, but truly it is our choice. And sometimes we get so drowned out by even consulting Google about our feelings, by consulting our friends, by consulting our family. And this moment right here, right now, allows you the opportunity to just sit and reflect on what you want. And with that, relatives, I ask you, if you're in a situation where you're feeling uncertain, or you're in a situation where something isn't serving you and it's affecting you, or maybe you're not even in any particular situation, maybe you're just living life and things are good overall. But I ask you, when we come here, how are you feeling? And then also, what do you need? What do you need? Let that determine your wellness path. Let that determine your actions for the day. Odessa, you're so awesome. She brought me water. Best day ever. Or not. All right, let's go back to the comments, relatives. Sharon says, this validation is so helpful. Thank you. Totally, Sharon. That's what we're here for. For real, relatives. That's what we're here for. No one's here to judge you. Or they say if you point one finger at someone else, you're pointing four back at you. If you point one finger at someone else, you're pointing four back at you. No one's here to judge. We get plenty of that. Shoot, I know y'all hopped on social media before. You say something and you got hundreds, sometimes a handful, sometimes hundreds, sometimes depending on where you say something on social, you might have thousands of people jumping on you. That in itself might be a decision sometimes we let go of, is even just those platforms where we just don't need that judgment all the time. This is a judgment-free zone. I love that. Come as you are. Come as you are. Odessa says, I'm drinking a cafe au lait with some water. Ooh, sounds strong and delicious. Claudia says, maybe the prepping is about refocusing the lens on ourselves. We have to cut through the noise of all of the advice of our own shoulds. Okay, relatives, this is perfect because right now this is the perfect transition to deep breathing. Thank you, Claudia. Here's the thing. We're bombarded by tablets, cell phones, laptops, TVs, commercial ads, magazine ads, news ads, social media, multiple social media platforms, the media itself. You have your news and whatever else. Then you have your friends who have well intentions for you. You have people who aren't your friends, and everything in between. And all of that, coupled with our busy lives of maybe you have to work, maybe you're a caretaker, maybe you're taking care of your spouse or your kids or your grandkids or your children, or maybe you're the one in your social circle where everyone comes to you for help. Maybe you're the matriarch in your family. Maybe you're the patriarch in your family where things kind of fall on you. Maybe you have tons of bills. Most of us do. Tons of responsibilities. Maybe everything is just overwhelming and there's just so much outside coming at you at all times that the noise, as Claudia is saying, has literally just, it's like you're almost deaf to your own needs because everything's coming in. When you feel that way, relatives, the best thing that we can do is get out of that head space and connect to our heart space. Do you ever see Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live a long time ago? And he always would look in the mirror and say, you're good enough and you're smart enough and gosh darn it, people like me and all that. Um, I know sometimes relatives, when we talk about self-care and self-love, you can feel that way. Like, oh, this feels kind of corny, or like, yeah, self-care, self-love. But that's how we break the cycle of trauma, and that's how we can start connecting to our heart space. I truly mean this. We all walk with pain. We all walk with trauma. For many of our relatives out there, the trauma, maybe childhood trauma, most and all of us have that in some way, shape, or form. But then also intergenerational trauma and historical trauma. And we walk with these things and we carry these things. And then with our obligations and our responsibilities, things can be overwhelming. COVID's overwhelming. Social unrest is overwhelming. And those are just like that's not even the individual issues. Those are like communal issues. These are like grand scale issues. It's really important that you allow yourself the time, if you need to reflect and listen to yourself. Connecting to the heart space for me, letting the mind just stop for a minute because our mind is going nonstop in the Western world. And how do we connect to that heart space? Where the language is not in words, the language is in emotions, the language is with love, the language is with feeling. We can do that by accessing things in our medicine kit, our proverbial medicine kit. There's the word again. Our medicine kit are those behaviors, thoughts, feelings, actions, exercises that we do that can help us connect to the authenticity of ourselves, who we are, what we need, what our heart is telling us, what our body is telling us. How can we serve ourselves in a way that we're practicing radical compassion, radical joy, radical self-acceptance, radical self-love? And deep breathing is one of those ways to do it. So relatives, we can keep it easy today. Let's do some deep breathing. A lot of times we have different techniques. Do you know what? Quite honestly, this last few weeks for me, it's been tough. I've had a tough couple of weeks, and I'm not in the clear yet. When we're going through stuff, sometimes all we need is some deep breaths. So let's breathe and let's stretch. If you want to, otherwise you can watch. Just hang out with us. You can sit, lay, or recline however you like. Eyes closed are optional. We're going to breathe in through the nose for a count of 4. We're going to exhale through the mouth for a count of 8. As we breathe in, our bellies will expand. And as we exhale, our bellies are going to contract. I'm going to put my hands gently in my lap. If you like, you can breathe in that positive healing energy. Imagine it as glowing light. Imagine it as love. Imagine it as healing energy. And when you exhale, when you breathe in that healing energy, let it wash over the things that aren't serving you, the pain, the sadness, the trauma, the worry, the anger. Let that breath dissolve those things. And when you exhale, allow yourself to release it, whatever it is that isn't serving you. You ready, relatives? Here we go. Deep inhale and exhale. Deep inhale for 4 and exhale for 8. Deep inhale and exhale. All right, let's continue to deep breathe. Let's roll the shoulders, relatives. You got that energy, you got that tightness in there, you got some anxiety in there. Maybe there's some pain. Maybe there's some emotions that you just want to work out. Let it come out with your movements and your breath. Maybe you don't want to roll your shoulders. Maybe you want to stand up. You can do whatever stretching you want. Take a deep inhale, arms open. And exhale. Oh, let's roll that wrist, stretching the shoulder and upper back. Deep inhale. Extending out and exhale. Oh, rolling out the wrist. Deep inhale. Extending that hand out in front of us. Stretching that wrist, forearms. If you don't like this, you can roll your wrist or choose whatever stretch you want. Relatives, trust your body. Listen to what your body needs. Your body knows. You know what you need more than anyone else. Palms out and up towards the ceiling. Gently bending from side to center. If you yawn, go ahead, yawn. Let it out. Release what you need. Oh, that feels so good. All right, we're going to go ahead and bend the elbow, pushing on the opposite elbow with the hand, stretching the tricep. Inhale. Ah. Ooh, that feels good. Okay, let's go ahead and do a neck stretch from side to center. So you really can come as you are, relatives, because if I'm gaping, open-mouthed, yawning in the screen, trust me, you're okay. No judgment. Double tapping the ear towards the shoulders. I'm gonna yawn again. And rolling the chin from shoulder to shoulder, keeping it in the front. Deep inhale. And final stretch. Let's take a look down towards our lap and up towards the ceiling, stretching the neck. I love this stretch so much. How'd that feel, relatives? How are you feeling? Odessa said shoulds can be very unhelpful. These shoulds come from society, societal, family, and ourselves. That is a lot of pressure. It's not easy, but it is important to listen to our hearts. Deep breathing will connect you to that heart space. It'll let the mind just stop for a minute. The mind is working overtime, guaranteed. Connect to your heart. Listen. Your spirit knows. Your spirit knows. Claudia says her tea has rosehip, apple, rooibos, honeybush, echinacea, honey, rose petals, marigold, cornflower, fenugreek, red clover, a meadow in my cup. Claudia, if you got some spare tea, if you got an extra cup of that, this girl would love a cup of that. That sounds amazing. Yes, and that's exactly what Odessa says. Molly says, I can no longer deal with tribal colonization policies. Okay, Molly, yeah, I hear that. I hear that, Molly. I see you. And Molly, you're in a great place because here is a space where we are focusing on decolonizing mental health. That's why all of our services are free. It should not cost any money to heal. Our founder, Leah, knew that she would never charge a penny for someone to walk their healing path. This is a way to decolonize. This is a way to look at healing as a way to also simultaneously focus on social justice. I hear that, Molly. I see you. Sarah says, I am feeling uncertain about my life and what direction to go forth in. I've been a stay-at-home mom for years. I have a 19-year-old, soon to be 16-year-old, and a 12-year-old. I love my kids with my whole heart, but I feel like I lost bits of myself and what I'm passionate about. I'm ready to explore, but I just don't know where to start. I've given so much of myself that I feel a little lost. Aw, Sarah. The kids are growing up. Sarah, the opportunity that you're on, I hope that you explore and you find things that make you joyful and that discovering that sense of discovering. Yeah. Sarah, we're here for if you need it. If you want to talk it out, we're here for you. Odessa says, sending love your way, Molly. Please reach out to our CARES Warm line if you're in need of extra support. Absolutely. The same goes to all of you relatives. If you need the CARES Warm line, this is for you. That's what the CARES Warm line is for. Sarah says, yes, I am the one that everyone comes to. I love it, but then again, I need to do those things for myself so I can reconnect with my own spirit. Yes, Sarah, thank you for sharing. Claudia says, I'm going to remain listening in the background, leaving to go down to the HIR Wellness Institute now, sending wishes and care to all. Claudia, thank you so much for, as always, thank you for who you are and how you serve. Odessa says, Sarah Marie, Thank you for your beautiful share and for sharing yourself in this space. It sounds like you're in a transition period where change seems possible. This can be a hard transition because you've been in the mom role for a while and you still are in that role. However, you are more than that role. You are a mother and you are you. This can be difficult and you are asking yourself all the right questions. Listen to your mind and body on what it wants and needs. Feel free to reach out to the CARES Warm Line for support in this. Sometimes we just need a little extra support from others to help us get on the path we need to go on. And Sarah thanks us all. She appreciates, most definitely. Claudia says, Sarah, there's a series of books that served me with that same sense of feeling lost. The author is Joan Anderson. Title includes A Year by the Sea, A Walk, Other Beach, one more, A Weekend to Change Your Life. I have a self-created workbook for it and willing to share. Okay, relatives, before we go, I did want to share one wellness thing with you. It won't take too long. For my wellness, I don't know if any of you can see what this is or recognize what it is. It is overnight oats. So what I got in here is, it didn't even take cooking. All I did was in a mason jar. I should say my sister did this for me. Was you put your oats on the bottom, not the instant oats. You want like the old-fashioned oats. You put in water or milk, cold, and then she put yogurt on the top for me for extra protein, and then berries on top. And you leave it in the fridge overnight, or for at least like 2 to 4 hours. Overnight is great though. And so this is one of my self-care things this morning. Overnight oats. You can make a bunch of them ahead of time if you got mason jars, or maybe like old spaghetti jars or old jars that you're going to throw out anyway, salsa jars. You can do this. And it's a great way for me to be able to have breakfast. I want to tell you some of the health benefits of oats. Not only are they delicious, I love oats. I'm so excited to eat this. I'll probably eat this as soon as I'm off of this R&R. But oats, according to healthline.com, my favorite research-based website for quick lookups for things that you're interested in your health. Um, but oats are one of the healthiest grains on earth. They're gluten-free, so that's good. If you are a gluten-sensitive person, they're a whole grain. They have lots of important vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. There's studies that show oats and oatmeal have many health and benefits, which include weight loss, lowering blood sugar levels, and a reduced risk of heart disease. There are 9 evidence-based health benefits of eating oats and oatmeals in this article. And I'll just go ahead and read them. I'll read them briefly. First of all, they're really nutritious. They have a good source of carbohydrates and fiber. They also contain more protein and fat than most grains, which is good. You need that kind of protein, or we need proteins to function. We need fats to function. Oats are loaded with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Half a cup of dry oats contains, so that's probably about this, 191% of the recommended daily intake of manganese, almost half of phosphorus, 35% of magnesium, 24% of copper, 20% of iron. Now, relatives, I know a lot of us Americans suffer with getting enough iron. 20% of zinc, 11% of folate, 39% of vitamin B1, and 10% of vitamin B5, small amounts of calcium, potassium, vitamin B6, and vitamin B3. And this does have a lot of carbs, but you know what? It's really good for you, so please try not to be afraid of the word carbs when you're eating oats. 13 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and 8 grams of fiber. That's almost a third of our fiber intake that we need in a day. You add some more protein with the yogurt on top, and then some fruits, and what a great breakfast. Um, they're also rich in antioxidants. Antioxidants really can neutralize those free radicals in our bodies. It can really help us to it's just really an excellent way to cleanse our bodies, and it's an anti-inflammatory. Also, oatmeal, you may have heard, is anti-itching, so sometimes you can put oatmeal on your skin if you're having, like, you can even bathe with oatmeal if you have like really itchy skin or it's really dry in the winter. There's a lot of antioxidants in it. Oats also contain a soluble fiber, which is excellent. That helps with reducing blood sugar and insulin. It can help you feel full. It has good bacteria, so it's good for the digestive tract, and it also reduces LDL and total cholesterol levels. There's research linked to this Healthline article about the 9 benefits of oatmeal. They can lower cholesterol levels and protect LDL cholesterol from damage, so that's huge. Oats can also improve blood sugar control. They're very filling and can help with losing weight. So just know that this will keep you full for a long time. It can also help stave off those sweet cravings that you might have. Finely ground out oats can help with skincare. This is amazing. It can help with uncomfortable symptoms of eczema, of put on the skin. Um, and that helps when it's applied to the skin, not eaten. They may also decrease the risk of childhood asthma because it's an inflammatory disorder. Know that there's a lot of research linked to this article as well. And oats may also help relieve constipation, which, because of the fiber, is a really good thing. Odessa, you found that article. Thank you. How do you do that, Odessa? You're fast. Um, okay, so let's see what we got before we go. Um, just checking out the comments. I read them. Want to make sure that I'm not missing any. There's so many. Um, Sandra, good morning, Sandra. Sandra says, good morning. I'm late. I had my great granddaughter and just dropped her off at school. What a fun night. Sandra, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. Aw, grandmas are the best. I loved my grandma so much. Gwen says, I make this for after my workouts. Love it. All right, Gwen. Yes, thank you. Odessa says to Sandra, glad to see you in this space. Sounds like you had a great evening. So fun. Lai, good morning. Aloha. Thank you for being with us. Sandra says, I'm going to make that right now while I'm watching. All right, Sandra. Yes. Sandra K. Okay, so relatives, yeah, Odessa, give it a try. You could put apples or fruit or cinnamon, or there's literally hundreds. Like, I was looking up all the recipes. You could literally do a different overnight oat recipe um every single day of the year. Like, there's just so many. They all look so delicious. I'm so excited. Um okay, relatives. With that being said, I hope that you have a great day. It's hump day, Wednesday. We're halfway through. Be kind to yourself today, relatives. Whatever you need to pull out of your medicine kit to get through your path and journey of self-care and wellness today, I encourage you to do it. However you're feeling today, I want you to know that we're here for you every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. You can always call our Cares Warm line. I want to say mahalo nui loa for being such a special, unique, and important part of our community activated medicine in these morning videos. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. You are an important part of this. Malama Ponoiko Kino, take good, righteous care of your body and your mind and your heart and your spirit. Aloha Nui, huge love to you, relatives. Seriously, huge love to you. Before we go, there's a community survey linked to this video. This is how we're able to offer services completely free. The survey's short, it's completely anonymous, and only asks a few questions. But this is the golden ticket for us never to have to charge a penny for what we offer here at the HIR Wellness Institute. If you're interested in our services, check out our Facebook page or hirwellness.org. We have beautiful services for you as you walk on your path and journey of self-care and wellness and mental health. Ahui ho'akuno. We'll see you all later. Much love, everyone. Aloha.